We could do weird type beat 2022. Believe it or not, this appears to be a pretty good keyword. I don't even know what an ugly type beat would sound like, but okay, people are searching for that.
Let's be honest, you're not gonna find these videos anywhere else. Why? Because I make them. So it would really help me out if you subscribe. If you've already subscribed, what also really helps is if you like the video and leave a comment. It's hard in the era of clickbait videos on YouTube and negativity in the producer community, and I appreciate your support. Thank you so much.
What's going down? Let's talk techniques to sell more beats in 2022. Now, any producer that has a YouTube channel that they use to promote their beats on will likely tell you that, especially if they've been doing it for a while, things are tough in the YouTube landscape. They may be trending downwards. And the consensus among a lot of producers who are speaking on this drop in overall engagement on beat videos on YouTube is that YouTube as a platform, and you know, all platforms are like this, but YouTube to a high degree, it's all based on retention. So keeping a user on the YouTube site. And well, a top YouTuber may make 30-minute to hour-long YouTube videos. Producers post these beats that are 2 minutes long, 3 minutes long. So the retention isn't that high. Now, I'm not saying that to discourage you. I do want to make a video about some of the newer channels that are doing well and this notion that they're buying views, because a lot of them are. And I'm not saying that's either good or bad. But today, I just want to talk about some basics, you know, the core SEO strategies for promoting beats on YouTube. And I want to approach today's video in a different way from other videos where I talk about keyword research, because a lot of producers are expressing and have expressed this idea that they're frustrated when it comes to categorizing their beats, finding keywords for their beats, because they don't feel like they even can think up or brainstorm up a keyword that fits their beats. Some producers just have trouble doing it because they're not too familiar with, you know, artist type beats or whatever. Another group of producers feels that their beats are way too unique to be categorized. Now, if you're in the latter category, let me just give you a reality check. I had this conversation recently with another producer. And when it comes to branding, I'm sorry, the fact of the matter is you need to describe your product. You just do. And as a producer, your product is a beat. Imagine, you know, you're selling a soft drink and someone says, well, what does it taste like? I can't describe it. Or let's say you go on the show Shark Tank, right? And you have this product that you're there to get the sharks to invest in, and they ask you to describe the product, and you look at them and say, you know, I really can't. It's over with. You know, you're done. So that's what I want to talk about today. Finding keywords for your beats, specifically good keywords for your beats. So there are two schools of thought, maybe more, but two main schools of thought when it comes to YouTube SEO. One school of thought I would say I'm going to give to the dilly got a bumping approach, which is find low competition keywords that are adjacent to high competition keywords. So a high competition keyword would be J. Cole type beat, but a low competition keyword would be J. Cole, Forest Hills Drive type beat, right? Let's research that actually. Because what Dilly was saying is, you know, target, you know, especially if you're watching this video, you're having a little bit of trouble getting views on your beats on YouTube. So let's check out. He's saying this is a good way to get started. J. Cole type beat competition is crazy, right? You need almost 2,000 views on your video I'm not even going to target this. You need almost 2,000 views on your video to get there. J. Cole, we're going to try J. Cole, Forest Hills Drive type beat. I hope this works. Okay, so this one, you only need 46. Competition is way lower. Search volume is also lower. It's not as popular of a keyword, but this is the Dilly Got a Bumpin' method. Use these kinds of keywords And, you know, with the eventual goal that someday, you know, you build up your views and eventually you target just the J. Cole keyword. Now there's the Pele 1080 strategy, or the Angel La Ciencia strategy, which is target the big keywords right away and just keep hitting them. I don't have a strategy for that, so I'm not going to talk about that today. Whoa. Let's get right into other forms of keyword research. So to the producers who are having trouble with finding or just even brainstorming keywords that could potentially work for their beats, I'll propose this. I think a lot of us get caught up in the whole artist type beat thing. So like, well, I don't want to target artist type beats. I'm not familiar with artists, or it's too competitive, or I can't hear any artists on my beats, you know, which is, I roll my eyes at that, because it's like, if you can't hear any artists on your beats, then maybe they're not good beats. You make beats for artists. Anyway, here's another reality check for us as musicians. If you have ever worked with a rapper, right, you know, yes, there are going to be rappers that say, you know, I need something that's, you know, like a Kendrick Lamar vibe or whatever, but at the end of the day, a good beat inspires a songwriter to write a song. So it inspires a feeling in them. Now, can we use that for keywords? Absolutely. So let's not act like we have to limit ourselves to artist names. We can, and there's a huge market for this kind of stuff. A lot of people are searching for moods, you know, emotional type beat. This is going to be incredibly competitive. I don't suggest you using this, but you know, we can, and this is if you're going to go this route of finding unique keywords for your channel, which is what this video is all about. You know, try it out. If it works, it works. We're really going to have to do some in-depth research. Now, what I'm using is the TubeBuddy Keyword Explorer. It's the premium version. I went to try to find free methods for getting keyword scores and this kind of keyword data. It doesn't exist. I think that I could find. If you know of one, you know, leave a comment. But time and time again, I keep going back to the TubeBuddy interface, because I just like how it works. We can also use you know, the free vidIQ keyword inspector. It gives us a certain amount of data. Then this is the free version, and we search for, you know, let's search for the same keyword, emotional type beat. Yeah, and it's going to tell us the competition is high. It's giving us a pretty low score, so that's going to be tough. It tells us the search volume. A lot of people are searching for it. So you could potentially use this. As you can see, it's giving us limited data because it's the free version, but a lot of people use the free version. So I'm not here to push either product on you. I'm just telling you which one I use for my keyword research, and that's what I'm going to use for the remainder of the video. This is what you are tasked with, really going in depth on these keywords. So if you have a unique beat, or even if you don't have a beat that's particularly unique, and what is unique anyway? I mean, making beats with Indian samples and Middle Eastern samples was unique in the late 90s when Timbaland started doing it. Drill beats were unique before everyone started making them. You can have a core sound, and you know, for me, my core sound is, I would just call it like the soulful type beat. We're not going to do research on that. I don't need you just trying to snatch my keyword rankings, but there should be a way. We all love making different kinds of beats. YouTube kind of forces us to categorize our beats, at least our core sound, and put it in somewhat of a box, at least throw some sort of umbrella category over it. So if we want to be vague, we can be vague. Specific would be, you know, Rick Ross type beat. Vague would be soulful type beat, or smooth type beat, or jazzy type beat. You know, something that's searchable, that people are searching for, that does describe your style of production, but is also vague enough so that you don't feel like you have to, you know, make a certain kind of beat every single time. But yeah, I think it's all the advice that I've ever seen, and all the successful channels that I've ever seen, especially lately, have focused on one or two specific keywords. So keep that in mind. You know, try to boil your sound, your core sound down to some kind of keyword, vague or otherwise. Let's say you make a lot of beats with piano. We can get really emotional piano trap type beat. This is probably a pretty competitive keyword, but yeah, it's a super competitive keyword. So let's not do that one. This is what I mean though. This is what we're tasked with. We have to really figure out which keyword's going to work for us, and it can take hours and hours and hours of doing research. This is a better keyword, but I want to find a really high scoring keyword. Jazzy piano trap type beat. Maybe this will help somebody out who makes these kinds of beats. I mean, look at some of the related searches. Jazz piano type beat, no drums. That's very specific, but that could work for somebody. It's still a little bit high. We could do weird type beat 2022. Believe it or not, this appears to be a pretty good keyword. I don't even know what an ugly type beat would sound like, but maybe. Okay, people are searching for that. You'd be surprised at which keywords no one's using, but people are actually searching for. Old school piano type beat. I don't even know what this would sound like. It could kind of sound like anything. Yeah, this one is all the way up for grabs. Kind of weird data that we're getting on this one, but if you make piano beats that maybe have a classic sound, I'd try it out. I talked about this earlier. Let's try it. Middle Eastern sample type beat. It's a good one. Indian sample type beat. I mean, depending on your channel, this is a fairly good one as well. And it's not necessarily just about mood either. We can talk about, really any variable in a beat. Up tempo trap type beat 2022. Now these are way longer keywords, but some of these longer keywords are underutilized. We could talk about region, Midwest type beat, whatever that is in 2022. Is this a good one to search for? Yeah, this is pretty good. Let's think about countries. Different countries we could target. I found a good one. I don't know what a German hip-hop type beat in 2022 sounds like, but this is a great keyword, right? And then how do we make the most of these keywords? Once we find keywords that work, that are viable, that have good scores, what do? I'd say let's look at the top beats on YouTube, and I made a video about this recently. Reverse engineer the formatting. So let's go with probably the most, or one of the most competitive keywords, Drake type beat, and let's see who. And I mentioned 1080 Palais and his format. Why not just, or not his format, but his philosophy on targeting, highly competitive keywords. Why not just steal his format? Just kind of look, exactly at what he's doing, how he's, what, and with TubeBuddy or vidIQ, you can spy on every single keyword he's using. With vidIQ, it'll tell you where he's ranking. We know he's ranking highly on Drake type beat. We can see which other kinds of keywords he's using. He's using not simply just the Drake type beat. He's getting more complicated and using longer keywords like the ones I was showing you about just now. Keyword stuffing. I talked about this in my last video. Putting the important keyword in the title. Some people are using more than one, but I think, if you're at this level of targeting and ranking on a Drake type beat keyword, then you're really just targeting Drake type beat. You don't want to dilute that that aim. Let's see what J. Cole type beat looks like. Same kind of thing, but some people are, and this is someone who's ranking second, J. Cole type beat and Isaiah Rashad type beat. They're targeting two keywords at once. Either way, again, we're gonna just reverse engineer this stuff. Thumbnails right now all kind of look the same, as you can tell. They're formatted the same with the small picture in the middle for the most part. I mean, there are some outliers, but for the most part, yeah, small picture in the center and free in the title and the keyword. So, you know, find something that works for someone else and adapt it to yourself. And if you're gonna try this method out, I wish you much success. It's gonna be a grind. You're gonna have to sit there and search for brainstorm keywords that, you know, you think could work, and think outside of the box a little. German rap type beat was a viable, great keyword, in fact. Just think out of the box, and if it fits your style and it is a good looking keyword, use it, try it out, see what happens. For a lot of us, YouTube just involves experimentation, and even in spite of how tough the YouTube landscape is, even a channel like mine with the views that I'm getting, YouTube is still sending a lot of traffic to my BeatStars account. You know, I checked the stats. I was surprised to note that YouTube is still actually, I think, the #1 traffic provider, and I use all types of platforms to send traffic to my beat store. YouTube is just one of them, and YouTube frustrates me to no end. However, there's always something new to learn. Hopefully you learned something new, or at least you got some information here that you can try to apply to your own beat selling channel. And hey, I hope you rank on one of these weird ass keywords that you end up finding. All right, peace.